I'm probably going to jail for this. I don't care. I've stayed quiet long enough. A few years ago, I agreed to be a sperm donor. She said she just wanted the baby and not a relationship. I was young and naive, and I trusted someone that I shouldn't have.
Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How have you all been? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video, it's a story that we've covered before, but now it comes with more receipt and more exposure. So sometime last year I did a video of a guy, and there was this story of how he said an older woman lured him to be a sperm donor, and after he got the woman pregnant, the woman, he was 24, she was 30. The woman now is now trying to play house, trying to play family with him, and that he's paying child support and all that, and yet the woman is on the internet saying that he is a deadbeat dad. We did that story sometime last year, okay? So apparently, at the peak of the story at that time last year, I noticed that he deleted a lot of all his videos, and that was making people to really question what was going on. Like, okay, maybe he's lying and all that and all that. Maybe his story was not clear. Now Brad is back to give us an update on the story with receipts. The receipt Brad came with was almost like this, a whole textbook, giving out like receipts, timeline, everything, point after point, and talking about how this woman tricked him. This woman tried to control him with the child. He paid child support, and then eventually he found out that this child was not even his. She's out here on the internet making it seem like they are a happy family where they barely even have contact with each other. Like, it's just giving some really scary shit things, like, but anyway, I need you guys to check out the story. Okay, he's telling the story. It's going to be in two parts, so this is the first part. Check out the story and then we'll come back and talk more.
I'm probably going to jail for this. I don't care. I've stayed quiet long enough. A few years ago, I agreed to be a sperm donor. She said she just wanted the baby and not a relationship. I was young and naive, and I trusted someone that I shouldn't have. When she told me she was pregnant, I congratulated her and moved to California. I thought that was the end of it. But then she started messaging my mom. She said she had no one, and she pressured us all to be at the birth. So we did. We were all at the birth. I signed the birth certificate, and I decided to be in the baby's life as a dad. I let her and the baby live in my Airbnb for free. I had to pay child support, and she took over $52,000 from me. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was being a dad. She started asking me to be a family, and when I refused, she called me a deadbeat online, and I stayed silent throughout it all. 2.5 years later, I decided to take 2 DNA tests. Both of them said the same thing. I was not the father. When I shared the results, she said that I was lying and that we tampered with the test.
Before you all start believing his shit, some company with her DNA, that could have been anyone's DNA.
She filed a restraining order. A judge silenced me and made me remove all my posts based on Maria's claim that I was actually the father. Here is the court order DNA test that I had to request, and it confirmed again I am not the father. And while I was silent, she kept going. She was changing dates on photos, spinning stories, manipulating people online. Some people believed her. But while she was doing that, I was uncovering the truth. Connections, manipulations, lies, and the truth about who the real father is. This is just the beginning of Maria's web of lies. Here's part 2 of my side. Apparently, I've been in a full-blown relationship I wasn't even aware of. Maria and I had a one-night stand on December 12th, 2020. She was in her 30s and I had just turned 24. And let me say this slowly for the people in the back. We were never in a relationship. She wanted more and I didn't. So instead of taking the L, she turned into a full-blown homie hopper. Like back to back. Wasn't even discreet about it. She just went down the roster like it was her job. I guess the logic was, if I won't date her, maybe I'll change my mind after I watch her hook up with all my friends. Bold strategy. It didn't work. And in case you think I'm still lying, her own cousin confirmed that we were never together. I'm sorry, Hadley. I know you hate this picture, but this is the time that Maria asked me to be a sperm donor. So she doesn't want to do IVF, and I'm convenient because we've already slept together once. She says she wants nothing from me, and instead of doing the smart thing and walking away, I said yes, because I was 24 and apparently thought the best use of my time was becoming a discount sperm donor for someone that I wasn't even texting back. I was thinking with the wrong head, obviously. She said, no strings, no drama. I just want a baby. I was like, sounds easy enough, I can do that. I really thought I could just sleep with her and help her get pregnant. Then go back to business as usual. Like, thanks for stopping by. Good luck with the whole parenting thing. Top tier, dumbass behavior. I own that, I know it, but I genuinely believed her when she said it would be simple. No drama and no strings attached. That's not what happened. So this woman told me I got her pregnant the same day she got her period, and then accidentally exposed herself on TikTok 3 years later. May 7th, 2021, Maria gets her birth control arm implant out. She's from my hometown, and she was living in New Orleans at the time, so she could only be here on the weekends. So she came in town the next 2 weekends, May 14th and May 21st. We partied with my friends, she stayed over, she had someone take these pictures, and then later tried to use them to prove we were in a relationship. We weren't. What was I supposed to say? Don't take a picture with me? And then I went to California. While I'm there, I posed with another girl, Whitney. She's only a friend, but Maria didn't know that. Maybe she got jealous, I don't know, but what she did next will never cease to amaze me. On June 6, 2021, Maria gets her period. She knows I didn't get her pregnant, and she also knows I'm about to move across the country. So she invites me to brunch, and she tells me she's pregnant, fully knowing that she's not. Then she starts drinking, like a lot. We then leave and go to another restaurant and meet up with my friend Dylan, and she also tells him that she's pregnant. Dylan and I think it's weird that she's drinking, but she insists it's okay. Here's the proof that this video is on June 6th.
Fuck this place, move to California.
Like, hey, you didn't get a lemon in you.
Oh, fuck, wrong way.
This video is dumb, but it shows two things. Maria was drinking, and I made it very clear that I was leaving. And that's important because that brunch, that's the last time I ever saw her until the week before the baby was born. Here's how we found out that she was on her period when she told me she was pregnant. Here's a photo she posted to TikTok to try to prove we were in a relationship. She changed the dates on the photos, but we'll get into that later. And then she posted this one. I then tell my girlfriend, who's a nurse, that she took that photo the day that she told me she was pregnant. And had these like, hold up, there's no way. Let me see that ultrasound photo again. So we pull up the ultrasound that she sent my mom. The ultrasound was done on January 17th, 2022. And it showed that she was 32 weeks and 1 day. I've since learned that pregnancy is calculated from the first day of a woman's last menstrual period. And if we count back 32 weeks and 1 day from January 17th, 2022, we get June 6th, 2021, the day she told me she was pregnant. And we didn't sleep together that day either. Since she never saw me after that, that means that she knew from the beginning that I was never the father. Furthermore, here's proof that I'm in California the only weekend that she could have gotten pregnant. She trapped me before there was even a baby. And the crazy part, we probably would have never found out if she wouldn't have posted the photos. She exposed her own lie, and it only gets crazier from here. Here's how I ended up the birth of a baby that I was only supposed to be a sperm donor for. July 12th, 2021, she confirms that she's actually pregnant. We only found that out later when she started posting on TikTok, but at that time she kept quiet. From July 22nd through July 26th, I was with my friend Whitney. She met my mom and she posted it on Facebook. Maria didn't know she was just a friend, and based on what happened next, I think she got jealous. Because not long after, Maria starts messaging my mom.
Hello.
Hey mama.
The night, I guess that we first met, I guess was that night at the half show. One of the first things after we introduced ourselves and sat down, I can remember her saying to me that she hoped that I didn't think that she took advantage of my son. And of course I gave a polite answer to that. We went on to discuss, and she mentioned, how I guess she was impressed with you to be so young and so successful at that age. I can remember her mentioning your house and all your toys.
From that point on, Maria started pulling my mom in deeper. She would ask for baby pictures of me, and she told my mom that baby's gonna look just like me. She made my mom feel important and needed, and when Maria told her that she had no one, my mom felt pressured to come to the birth.
She told me if something ever happens to her, I want you to raise the baby. And I just remember thinking that poor girl has no one.
By then, my family was in, they were planning to be at the birth, and I was about to be too. My mom tells me that Maria told her she has no one coming to the birth, no family, no support. She's scared and she really wants me to be there. So I booked the flight on February 23rd, 2022, and it's $677. And I sent Maria the screenshot. By this time, Maria has already had 2 separate baby showers and never posted anything about it. Not one bump photo, nothing. And then a few hours after I booked my ticket, and on the same day that I sent her the screenshot confirming I was going to be at the birth. And at 8.5 months pregnant, that is the first time she ever posts that she's pregnant. And she uses my last name. She waited until I was fully in, and then she told the world. She didn't just lie, she made sure the lie had backup. The day the baby was born, I was there, and I was the first person to ever hold the baby. And I just remember thinking, this is what it feels like to become a dad. I didn't care about anything else in that moment. My parents are there posting about how they're grandparents again. And then the nurse comes in and she brings in the forms for the birth certificate and the acknowledgement of paternity. I signed everything because I thought the baby was mine and Maria knew I would. After the birth, she scheduled a full-blown newborn photo shoot. She posed me holding the baby and they would jump in the photos. She had my dog in the photos too and had already ordered a bandana that said Big Brother. She shared the photos online, but I had no idea because I was already blocked on Facebook. She was posting pictures of me and the baby, making it look like we were this perfect little family. And while I'm across the country, she's messaging my childhood friends. She's asking my best friend Dylan and his girlfriend Megan to babysit, and they do. She starts asking my friends and family if they want to be the godparents. She didn't just ask 1 or 2 people, she told multiple friends they might be chosen. Literally, this is what my brother posted of me, the baby, and my friends. He joked, the godparents who didn't make the cut. And Maria liked the picture. At first, she kept things peaceful and calm. It's like she didn't want to risk pushing me away too fast. Once I was settled into this nice little world she created for me, that's when she started to tighten her grip. And that's when the real abuse begins. Part 5 coming tonight. Don't realize it's abuse when there's no bruises. But she didn't need violence. She used my love for the baby to control me. She waited until I was all in. Once I settled into my role as a father, once she knew I wasn't going anywhere, that's when it changed. The control started small, a comment here, a demand there, but it escalated fast. It was Easter 2022 and I flew home to see the baby. I spent nearly $900 on flights. My whole family was at the house. My parents, nieces, uncles, aunts, cousins. I blocked off my Airbnb and I hosted everyone including Maria and the baby. At first, things seemed normal. She was upstairs drinking, talking with my mom, being friendly. I was downstairs with my cousin just hanging out. The more she drank, the more her attitude started to shift. There was this edge to her, sharp glances and short responses. I could feel it building. Then, out of nowhere, she leans over the upstairs balcony, clearly drunk, and screams down at me in front of everyone, "Get your ass up here and take care of your child." My mom says this is the first time that she saw it. That Maria expected something from me way beyond what we agreed to. For me, it was the first sign that if I didn't do what she wanted, she would humiliate me in front of everyone. After that day, things shifted, subtly at first. But every time I didn't respond fast enough and give her what she wanted, she would use the baby against me. May 16th, 2022, she asked if her and the baby could stay in my Airbnb rent-free. I don't answer right away. A few hours later, she threatens to take the baby away from me, so I say yes. She moves in, I cover rent, utilities, internet, everything. Meanwhile, I can't rent it out during peak season. I'm losing money left and right, but I tell myself it's worth it to stay in the baby's life. August 2022, I come back again, so I have to drive an hour each day just to see the baby, and then an hour back just to sleep with my parents. I keep showing up, I keep complying, because by now, it's clear. I push back, I lose access. After she moved out of the Airbnb, the control didn't stop. She texted me, "This is what I want from you." She wanted me to start paying the full daycare amount, even though there was no court order in place. And in exchange, she said that I could have the baby every other weekend if I stay at my parents' house. I've never been arrested, I didn't use drugs, I've never been violent, abusive, or even raised my voice around her. There was no court ruling, no concern from a judge, nothing. It wasn't co-parenting, it was control. My access to the baby came with conditions that she made up as she went. Then, about a week later, she posted a photo on Instagram with the man that we now know is the dad. Just something to note, we'll get into that later. Then came the baptism. We talked about this in my first video, but here's a quick recap. I drove a 14-hour round trip just to be there. The night before, she asked me to come hang out. I said no, I didn't want to give her the wrong impression. So she told me I wasn't allowed to come to the baptism, just like that. I didn't fight it, I just let my parents go instead. I was just trying to keep the peace. By summer of 2023, things took another turn. Now it wasn't just emotional pressure, it was legal. I was overwhelmed and hiring an attorney felt too expensive. Plus, I had no reason to question paternity. Maria told me if I didn't just sign what her lawyer sent, she would take me to court and get $1,400 a month in child support and $16,000 in back pay. I felt trapped. In those same messages, she said that she didn't want to go in front of a judge. Looking back now, that feels important. I agreed to pay $750 a month and $10,000 in back child support just to avoid a legal battle. I didn't think I could win, so on August 21st, I wired her $10,000. You think that once the court order was in place, things would settle down, but they didn't. If anything, the control got worse. I made my first court-ordered child support payment on November 1st. Less than 2 weeks later, she's calling me names, refusing to let me keep the baby overnight, and demanding more money again. Even simple visits came with strict conditions. When I tried to coordinate a time to see the baby, she laid out impossible rules for pickup and drop-off. She told me exactly when, where, and how, and still refused overnight visits. She insulted me in one breath and demanded child support in the next. I gave her extra money, $30 here, $250 there, all outside the court order. I was trying to avoid conflict and trying to stay in the baby's life. Then out of nowhere, she texted me that she wants to be with me. I told her gently again, that's not what I want. Days later, she posted photos of me and the baby at our house on Christmas morning, like we're a happy little family. By early 2024, it felt like there was no line that she wouldn't cross. February 1st, I make the court-ordered child support payment on time. On Valentine's Day, I posted this photo while I was out to dinner. I wasn't even in town, it wasn't my girlfriend, just a night out. Maria saw it and immediately started freaking out, texting that I should have taken the baby to dinner instead. Then she said, keep this up and I won't let you see her anymore. I sent her $100 for a Valentine's dinner for her and the baby, just trying to avoid another explosion. March 1st, I pay again, $750 in support, plus $31 extra for dance class. Again, not court ordered, just trying to keep the peace. Then she posts birthday photos, thanking our family and best friends for coming to celebrate. We don't share family or best friends. She just went out of her way to find my family and friends, message them, and inserted herself into every part of my life. I paid for the birthday party, $364, so she didn't need extra money. However, the next day, she demands the child support payment 26 days early. When I say no, she tells me to die and says I'll never see the baby again. The next day, I sent her $156, not because I wanted to, or was ordered to by the courts, because I felt like I didn't even have a choice anymore. Then she posted even more birthday photos, this time at dinner with my family, like everything was normal. I guess because I paid her, she was happy. By this point, I was drained, financially, emotionally, mentally. She controlled when I could see the baby, how much I paid, what I was allowed to post, and how I lived my life. And every time I pushed back, she would punish me for it. It didn't matter how much I gave, she always wanted more. And I didn't think it could get worse. But then I met Hadley. And for the first time since meeting Maria, I was in a real relationship. An actual one, and it was serious. Part 6 of Maria's Web of Lies will be up tomorrow.
Okay. So guys, this is where we're going to end this part 4. We're going to come back for part 2 later on. Okay. But yeah, this is such a crazy story to recap all over again. And the fact that this man has receipt for days, for me, is just so scary. Go down in the comment section and share what you think about this entire story down in the comment section. But as always, please keep it respectful here on this channel. We're allowed to disagree, but we'll do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free, share your thought. Okay. You guys know I love hearing from you guys. So yeah, for me, like, I don't even understand why anybody's trying to trap anybody with a baby. It doesn't make sense. And this is, honestly, I don't, honestly, my gender, I don't understand. And there are women like this that feel like a child, they can use a child to get a man, to hold a man down, to control a man, and all that. When in reality, if that man wants to go, that man can go. At the end of the day, you will be the one that your body's going to go through the entire pregnancy journey. Then you will go be the one to raise that child practically yourself. Like, I don't understand why some women feel like this is a plot. And this is something I've seen in Nigeria. They do it a lot. Where some women will just say like, okay, this guy, okay, all I need to do is to sleep with him, get belly. Once I born for him, that's this. Once I have his child, that is it. Like, why are we handcuffing ourselves? Now look at how we're like I don't know if Maria can come and combat all this thing, but Brad is coming with full-blown receipts. Unlike the last time, the story was very scattered. I'll look if I can find that first story and link it down again. You guys know I create content almost every day, so that's like back like last year. But yeah, it's really interesting to see that he's back now, giving more receipts and all that. But the fact that the baby was not his, it just shows that all she wanted was for him to be with her. and they can be that family. And this is a woman that centered men. This is a woman that doesn't, at least from what he has told us, which I would like to hear our own side. It's she still needs to find herself. Honestly, the fact now that he's even saying that there's a proof that he's not the father, but even court order that proof that he's not the father. Like, girl, really? Anyway, there's more to this story. I think he said he paid over 50,000 for child support. Like, a lot to this story, which we're going to cover once he finished. Like, I'm going to wait for him to finish the next part because I was doing it one. So I'm going to wait for him to finish the next part, and then I'll bring it for you guys. Anyway, guys, go on and share your thoughts. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go on and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push up my content for more people to see, and that'll be you supporting this channel and this girl here. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.